Hello there everyone, this is Chilliness. Welcome back to another episode in the career mode of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Today we are flying out of cloudy Essendon Airport right next to Melbourne International, taking the 172 over to Hay, which is over the northern part of the state as well as the New South Wales border. Unfortunately for this video, no cinematics will be available. That's because I have run out of time to record these because I stupidly said on the last live stream, let's only do qualifications, and then a video prior I said I wasn't going to show qualifications on video anymore. I'm going to rethink that decision for sure. Today, the planned cruise altitude is 8,000 feet, and we're going to be flying IFR as well, even though we're essentially doing an Essendon 8 vector departure straight through to Hay runway 22, RNAV,
Essendon ground, Cessna Victor
but doing it
Hotel
IFR because it is cloudy up there.
IFR clearance to Yankee Hotel Alpha Yankee.
Airport. By the Essendon departure, runway 17. Climb by SID maintain 9000. Departure frequency is 118.9er. Squawk 2266.
We need to set our heading 166 for the Essendon 8 departure, and then we also need a vertical climb speed of at least 3.3 degrees, but we can do that manually.
Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar. Taxi to and hold short of runway 17 via taxiway Papa Romeo Tango. Contact tower on 125.1 when ready.
Finally made it up to the hold short. It seemed like I had another speed bump there. Alright, we'll tune Essendon Tower, and we are requesting takeoff clearance IFR for Essendon 8.
Essendon Tower, Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar ready for IFR departure. Runway 17.
Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar, QNH 1011. Cleared for takeoff runway 17.
We will turn off our taxi lights, turn on landing and strobes, confirm flaps are set. Full mixture. We make our way onto the runway and depart. We should be able to do a rolling takeoff here. The runway is definitely long enough where we don't have to spool up the engine on the spot. Airspeed is alive, and we will slowly bring in the throttle. "55 knots. Rotate." We need to climb at least 3.3 degrees. We are definitely climbing at closer to 7 right now. Anyone feel like going for a drink? Oop. Keep on heading. Chill. Be good. We're well over 300 feet now. We can retract flaps.
Melbourne departure, Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar is at 1000 climbing 9000.
Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar, Melbourne departure, QNH 1011, radar contact, continue.
So does continue mean that we fly over to our next waypoint? Because normally you'd be vectored out if you had real ATC. That's what it is. I'll be clear for takeoff, turn left, 090 clear for takeoff. You'd follow the Essendon 8 departure. On runway 17, that would be climb to 1,000 feet, then turn 090, and then they'd say direct whatever, resume on navigation, direct, insert waypoint here. So let's get our flight plan up here, and we want to direct, clear, cut, nope. Crap. Well, we're just directing to here. Activate. And we will turn on the autopilot as well. So we have Essendon Airfield right here, and then Melbourne International just over there. What is going on here? Something is not liking this. Oh, it's because I'm still stuck on heading, not nav. That's pilot error. That may get us docked some points. Yeah, that was a messy changeover to autopilot there. But yeah, Melbourne International, an airport that I've flown out of many times in this sim. Sitting right over there. Wow, that cloud is getting really thick. We're going to be in the soup very, very shortly. Alright, we're just about in line with the nav. We'll turn on the GPS as well. The clouds are like literally right under our wheels right now. The fact that we just get to sit here and enjoy the view out the window is incredible. Actually, this one here might actually slightly get us here. Very, very weather heavy day in Melbourne today. I mean, if you look out here out the right window, you can see just how cloudy it is out here. The estimated weather in Hay is very clear though, so we should have no problems getting into that one over there.
Cessna X-Ray Victor Oscar Contact Center on 124.0. Good day.
Center, Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar, 9000.
Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar, Center, QNH 1010, radar contact continue.
That was very convenient, being able to change over to center right as we are hitting our cruise altitude of 9,000 feet. Honestly, I'm very glad that I did go IFR. It's been very cloudy coming out of Melbourne. It's starting to get clear patches now, but out both windows, yeah, it's still not exactly great. This should be our last light cargo flight before we qualify for medium cargo, being able to move around in the Cessna 208, maybe the Pilatus PC-12. Man, I'm so excited for running into some medium cargo missions. Of course, if you were there for the live stream that happened, if you're watching this on release, the live stream would have happened just a few hours ago. You can watch those live streams at roughly 12 PM Australian Central Daylight Time, or you can join the Discord, link down in the description, to get notifications for when that happens. Yeah, by this time here, we should already be qualified for medium cargo and for charter flights as well. That's assuming everything went well. Unfortunately, you won't be able to go back and watch the VODs because I use that footage for creating videos, and why would you watch the videos if you can go watch the VODs in the background? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Would you prefer to have the VODs kept up and then a shorter version, the edited version in video? It'd be really interesting to hear your thoughts about that. For me personally, I see it as if you want to watch the content, then you watch the edited videos, which I've put time and effort into. They don't take up so much of your time. But I myself am an avid VOD watcher where I will just turn on people's VODs just for background noise. So it'd be great to see what you think about those sorts of things, because obviously I create this content for you while also flying for my enjoyment and your enjoyment. So yeah, it would just be cool to get your perspective on that. And at this point in time, we have roughly 1.5 hours until we reach the first waypoint of the Hay RNAV 22 approach. The pressure is getting pretty low out here though, 1007. Hopefully it doesn't get too much lower. Hopefully it stays kind of the same as we make our way over to Hay, though it could get lower, and hopefully Hay has an automated weather information service over there so we can at least see what the weather is over there. If not, I'll use real life sources or like websites that I use when trying to get ATIS information. There's not really much to look at out here though. I mean, there's a lake over there, and I mean, a lake over there and another one. But yeah, in terms of interesting things to look at, just be glad that I cut these videos. There's really nothing out here. Alright, just got the call that we can cancel IFR when ready. I'm going to continue on without cancelling IFR until we're getting pretty close to our top of drop. or at least on the RNAV is the point I will cancel IFR. I've once again turned off airport pins so that I can't see exactly where I am going. RNAV should help with that anyway. Honestly, most airports do allow you to select a vector or a straight in, at least in the G1000 C172, and I do highly recommend it, honestly, especially if it's an airfield that you've never flown into before or rarely fly into. Yeah, it's wicked that way. Bit more immersive. Be so fun to do this in virtual reality, man. I reckon career mode plus virtual reality would be a game changer. Let me know if you want to see that down in the comment section. I nearly said down in the description. Let me know down in the comments section if you want to see career mode in virtual reality. Of course, you're not going to get the full scope of what it's actually like. Really, the only person who can get the scope of it like that is me, because I'm the one wearing the headset. It feels so different. You feel scale. Like here in 2D, like you get that you're in a small plane and whatever, especially when you start looking around, you realize just how small it is. But when you're sitting in the pilot's seat in virtual reality, the whole cockpit actually feels smaller. Yeah, also let me know if you do want to see that. That would be so much fun to do. And the progress report right now says that we are at about 30 minutes from our first RNAV waypoint, with top of drop being roughly 15 minutes away. Alright, we're getting very close to our top of descent, so we are going to set up some altitudes. I actually went and had a look at the charts for Hay. Altitude is 2,300, runway altitude is at 304 feet, so we'll be 2,000 feet above the runway as we run through the RNAV. I'm also going to turn on VNAV, that way when we get to our top of descent it should start bringing us downwards automatically. It looks like we only have a few minutes until we are actually there. I'd say no more than 5 minutes we'll be at top of descent. It's been a long flight today, actually. The fact that there's not much going on out here, yeah, it just makes it feel a bit slow. But it is nice to actually unlock some of inland Australia instead of just flying along the coast. Gives us options when we unlock more job types as well. Though I'm never going to complain really about waterside views. They are always fantastic. And hopefully with the ability to fly them at any time of day, night, weather will make them even more extravagant.
Melbourne Center, Cessna X-Ray Victor Oscar. Cancel IFR at this time.
Cessna X-Ray Victor Oscar. IFR flight plan is cancelled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Yankee Hotel Alpha Yankee traffic. Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar. 21 miles southeast, 9,000. Inbound to land. Runway 22. Yankee Hotel Alpha Yankee.
Come to think of it, I probably should have announced position once we got close to our first waypoint in the RNAV arrival, but we got it out of the way nice and early. We're also now on our vertical path. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to cross the river, go across to the west slightly, and then come back down southwest to cross the river once again. I'm not sure exactly where the airfield is. I am looking around for it and I'm not seeing it. This could be it here. There's a long strip there that couldn't... No, because it has another runway that would be kind of in line with us. Yeah, I have no idea where it is at this point. Good thing we're taking that RNAV. Alright, following the river we're crossing, I believe that could be Hay over there on the left side. Sorry, apologies. On the right side of the water, which means our airfield wouldn't be too much further away from that, but we're at about the right space for that sort of distance. And the fact that there's also a helipad over there does make me believe that that is the town of Hay right there. And if you're one of those sorts of people, whenever I say Hay in this video, take a drink, whether it's water or something slightly more adult. Alright, turning on to our nav, we will announce our position now.
Yankee Hotel Alpha Yankee traffic. Cessna Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Oscar. 13 miles northeast, 2400. Inbound to land. Runway 22. Yankee Hotel Alpha Yankee.
Right, and I'm going to auto set the barometer as well. The pressure did indeed drop even more, 1004. But there was no ADAS, no AWS, no nothing out here, so that's a bit unfortunate. You'd probably get an area QNH from ATC if this even supported it. We are about to intersect our glide path here. You can see here the point where it does intersect. Our runway is in sight, directly in front of us, just across the river. As we are about to go through the intersection of the glide path, I will set flaps 1 just to start getting the speed coming back very slightly. And we'll try and avoid all the mechanical turbulence this time. By the way, thank you Verb for explaining all the mechanical turbulence and how to mitigate it and everything. Really appreciate that. Hopefully today we can do you a bit proud and show how to land the 172. I still personally have to curb my expectations while I know that I can land a little better. I'm not expecting to, but we just have to keep our speed up a little bit, and then we won't really put in flaps 2 until we get much closer so that we can keep that speed up. However, this time it looks like we have a pretty direct headwind, so we won't have to worry so much about like ruddering or moving into the winds or anything like that. As long as the wind stays like that. Got some really nice waterfront views here as we are making our approach as well. And then the town itself has very nice water views all the time. Would be nice to live out in a place like this, maybe. Alright, we're going to drop out some of the throttle. Make sure that we are staying below 85 knots because the speed is a little bit inconsistent at this point. Well, that's probably the point to say that we are on final. Yes, the music tells all. We'll set flaps 2 and we'll keep the speed, or the revs, the RPM, coming in a bit so that we don't drop out of the sky. That headwind is not exactly strong. Nope, we're going to overspeed it. Stop. I'm going to overspeed the flaps again. Are we still flaps 1? We are still flaps 1, luckily. Right, let's pull out heaps of the throttle here. We'll set flaps 2.
500.
There we go. 500. Keep those RPMs coming in. I'm not going to disconnect the autopilot for a real hot sec here. Just want to make sure that the speed is managed before anything else. We are kind of very nose up at the moment, which is not good. Seems to be a problem as I get closer to the ground. I don't keep in enough RPM. Let's just have a look over the nose. Oh lord. Alright, autopilot disconnect, aircraft is mine. We have pretty much a straight headwind, so I'm not too worried about that. Keep bringing the throttle out. Oh lord. Fighting that mechanical turbulence again. It could be actual, it could be real turbulence. Throttle out. And it was a very hard landing once again. Trying to keep my rudder very steady here as we slow down so we don't get that wing dip on the way down. Well, the wing dip side of things was a lot better. The landing was still terrible. The approach was still not great either, but we did get down on the ground. Overall, I'd give the approach, I don't know, maybe slightly better. We still encountered, even though we were like 75 knots, we still encountered some turbulence, and I'm not sure if it was mechanical, just being too slow or whatever. We were 75 knots when we encountered it, so I doubt that's a thing. Could have been wind coming up off the water and everything, and our landings definitely need work. Again, just I misjudge what it's like in the 172. Every other aircraft I'm pretty good with. Alright, we will announce taxi to parking, which is right in front of us. At this point here, we will turn off our landing lights, turn off our strobe lights, turn on taxi lights. Yeah, overall, I'd rate the flight. The takeoff was great. The landings are never really great. So I will give us, I don't know, maybe like a 6. What is going on here? Am I fighting a speed bump? I was able to see my parking and then it kind of suddenly disappeared over a small hill. I remember Asobo saying that the ground was much closer to real life, but at this point here it doesn't really feel like it. I feel like this sort of area here would be really flat and not like having to like climb up a hill, you know, like at this sort of angle. Anyway, I'll stop complaining now. We will turn off the engine, turn off the mixture, we'll turn off the avionics and battery, turn off the beacon, and turn off the nav, if it would let me. Our cargo integrity was 87%. I'm actually not surprised too much with how we took, with how after takeoff we had a bit of a hard time getting through to our flight path. We were dipping and bombing around a lot, so cargo integrity was probably lost there, as well as that hard landing a little bit could have been lost there. 100% airline procedures, we did all of the things we talked with ATC as needed, and we respected the condition of the aircraft to 93%. Again, that was probably attributed to banking too hard early on in the flight and the landing. But we did finish up with an S rank and 800,000 XP pretty much. Back here in the headquarters, we made 21,990 credits. The reputation bonus attributing 1,390, no skip bonus 13,000, and bad weather bonus 6,690 because the weather was pretty terrible in Melbourne, though it was lovely in Hay. Get a big reputation bump, and we are now in the S rank reputation, so the mission reward will now give us plus 20% bonus for each mission we do. The insurance now costs 25% less because we are a quote-unquote good pilot, and we should have access to an S rank special mission at some stage. Leveling up, we go from 41 to 45. It's an even bigger jump than the last video. Cargo missions seem to be where it's at. And of course, by this stage here, you will have seen us unlocking our medium transport, which should be a video next week. We would have done that on the live stream if you were there earlier today, but with that we'll be able to fly turboprops and everything like that. We've got all of our turboprop rating. It'll be the 208, it'll be the 404, the 408, and the PC12. Really should maybe look into getting the jet engine rating so we can take the PC24 as well. That thing is fun to fly. But we don't want to think about that too much at the moment. For now, that is the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications so you know when I do go live with Microsoft Flight Sim Career Mode. And let me know your thoughts about this video and especially about the VOD thing. Do you want to see full VODs up on the channel of the career flights when I live stream them, or would you prefer to see the edited version? Would be super interesting to hear your thoughts. But until the next time, please do take care of yourselves. There is only one of you, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one, everyone. Ciao.